This video that we're putting together here is just a couple clips from the game against Gonzaga the other night, and we're gonna try to show some of the areas where we need to improve. And the first thing I want to say to you guys is this: uh, don't get offended if you're the person on the ice and being called out in these videos. Everybody is basically making the same mistakes. This is a learning tool. This is not meant to bring people down. All right, it's meant to help you improve. And by seeing you on the yourself on the ice or your teammates on the ice in a game situation, as opposed to us trying to explain it to you on the bench, we find helps a great deal with your understanding. So this clip that we actually have here is the first goal that was scored. And what will happen is the guy who actually scores the goal, the Gonzaga player, will actually come right through here. And one guy, and I think it's this guy right here, will actually just swing his stick at him. This guy will actually come back here and will not really be in a position to help. But right now the puck is in the corner. So let's just play this forward and see what happens here. Okay, so and I apologize for the quality of the video. It's not great, and I think that's because it's on Twitter. Hopefully we can fix this as the season goes through. But you can see who's white. Obviously, that's us, and who's blue. So you can see this player here. The puck is in the corner. There's a couple of guys down there engaging with the puck carrier, and his support. It's hard to make out, but there's actually two Falcons players down there, and then there's another one here. So there's one here down the corner, one there. There's two Gonzaga players. So these guys are fine. This guy's probably a little bit too low. This guy is just kind of watching this guy come through the seam. All right, and this is who scores the goal actually. And this guy is way out of position. I mean, how can he do anything here? Obviously he's trying to wait for the puck to come around the corner. But you know what? Be right. If he was right here in that low sag position, he'd be in a position to, you know, intercept this player. All right. But this whole idea of just throwing a stick at a guy or watching him, we really need to get out of this. We need to start playing our positions. We need to start taking responsibility for our jobs on the ice and cutting back on the number of goals that are being scored on us. So let's get that off the screen here. Let's play it forward and see what happens here. Right. So you can see that this guy's gone through. He's gotten the puck. This guy's way out of position, right? He can't help out. If he was over here, because the puck is still on this side of the net. If he was in his sag position, you'd have him. You could lay a hit on him, take the puck away from him. This guy's just kind of swung the stick at him, and this guy is, he's kind of in a good position here because he's either a defenseman or a centerman or whatever. But again, we're not collapsing around the house here. Look how open the house is here in front of our net. This is why this goal was scored basically. And for the most part, everybody is watching the puck, and no one is watching over their shoulder to see who's coming and where they're coming from, and then picking those guys up. You know, and this is what I found the other night was a big problem for us. Is that it's always a problem for every team really, and it's an easy thing to do. Is that we're puck watching, and we get fixated on the puck as opposed to having our heads on a swivel and seeing where that other man is coming from and picking him up. All right, and of course we see the result, and they score. So we need to take responsibility in our own end. Playing defensive hockey is about playing a system, playing your positions. If you're not playing your positions, you're not playing the system, then they're going to use their creativity to score goals on us. On the other side of the coin, of course, is that from an offensive perspective, it's about creativity and pucks to the net. All right, so this is the second goal that Gonzaga scored, and the puck carrier actually is taking the puck wide down the wall, and this defenseman here is engaging with him. You can see that this second attacker he's actually going to come through here, and he's going to go straight to the net, which is exactly what we want you guys to be doing. This defenseman here is kind of a little too laxy-daisy in getting back, and what's going to happen is the puck's going to come toward the net because it's just going to be a shot in the net, and he's going to deflect it and score a goal. The other thing is that these guys, I mean, our forwards here are not getting back, and again are going to be puck watching again. This is something we need to get out of. So let's just play this forward and see what happens. There we go. So we haven't actually he hasn't actually scored yet, but you can see this guy has gone straight to the net. He's in a good position. This defenseman is now he's out of position. He's not engaging with this guy and not controlling his stick. And what's going to happen is they're going to shoot this puck in the net, and this guy's going to have a nice deflection, and they're going to end up with a goal. But again, look at this. We've got this forward here and this guy here. Everybody's focused on the puck. Everybody's focused on the puck. There could be another Gonzaga guy coming in here on the back side, and we wouldn't know it because everybody is focused on the puck. We got to get away from this, right? So if we're going to take a lesson from this again, is we need to stop focusing on the puck. If you're not engaging with the puck carrier, you need to have your head on the swivel. You need to be aware of where the other players in the other team are. And if a guy's in front of it, you need to control his stick. You need to take him out, right? That doesn't mean take a penalty. That means control him so that he can't do any damage to us. All right, so this is another clip. There's no actual goal scored on this play, but it's another example of us focusing on the puck and not having our heads on the swivel and picking up those trailing men into our zone. You can see there's actually a Gonzaga player down here who's got the puck and he's taking it wide. This is another attacker coming in here, and then this guy here is wide, going wide. All right, he's going to go straight to the front of the net again, which is something that we want you guys to be doing, but we're not doing. But you can see, again, it's grainy, it's hard to see, but you can tell that this guy is looking down at the puck. This guy is looking down at the puck. This guy is looking at the puck. This guy's looking at the puck. Everybody's focused on the puck here. We're not being aware of where other people are on the ice, the rest of the team. We'll play this forward here now. Just watch what happens. Like I said, no goals scored here. All right. So you can see I think we got 1, 2, 3, 4, so 5 guys on the ice here that we can see for us, and I can see 4 of them, and there's probably another defenseman over here somewhere. This guy here, I'm assuming is a defenseman. He's got to engage that puck here. This is, I'm assuming, a forward here. He's not in a bad position. He's actually got himself between the net and the puck. So if this guy beats the puck here, he can engage him. That's not bad. This guy here is way down too low, and he's not picking up this guy here, right? So he's free. This guy, he could drop that puck back to this guy very easily if he wanted to, and there'd be nothing we can do about it. This is the other guy going wide. The defenseman has, at this point, sort of picked him up, but he's still not really engaging with him. He's got to be at least a stick length away from the guy so you can control his stick if this puck comes through the middle here. And then, of course, this is the last forward, and he's way up here. He's got to bust his butt and get down here. He's got to take up that sag position here. All right, that way, if this guy is down here now, we're covering the front of our net, right? This guy's a little too far over that way. Like I said, he's got to be watching this guy coming through here and so on. But we got to be picking up these guys. We can't allow these other players to come in and just get position on us. We need to engage them before that. We need to pick them up and control their sticks. And this is how we cut down on the goals being scored on us. And this is not just for one person to do. This is everybody. Everybody has to buy in to this concept. Otherwise, we're going to continue to have goals scored on us that really we shouldn't. All right, so this is another situation we kind of touched on in the game the other night as well, and that is breaking out. And the forwards are not moving. No one's skating. We're just standing still, and we're becoming, stationary targets. You need to move. You need to give, options to your defensemen. And if we're not moving, like I said, we're easy targets. So what's going to happen here? We got a centerman right here. We got the defenseman with the puck here, the winger here, and the defenseman. And what's going to happen is that this winger is going to come over on the boards and he's just going to stand there. This winger is going to come over the boards and stand there. This centerman sort of curls down below here, which is not so bad. At least he's given the option to the defenseman. He's sort of moving. Um, but there's other options here that we could get into. All right. What preferably I'd almost like to do a top down breakout possibly. And I'll explain to you what I mean here in a second. But I'll show you some options here that we can get into and how we should be moving possibly. And again, it's hard to tell you this is exactly how you do things, but the main concept here is that you got to be moving, you got to be thinking. So let's just play this forward slightly a little bit, and we'll watch how everybody sets up. So you can see there the centerman just started to curl down here. So the defense could have hit him with a pass. This guy's here starting to engage. All right. And this is the thing too, is that we've actually got them on a change. They've got a forward way up here. This is a defenseman. That's a defenseman. You got a forward here and forward here. And this guy's starting to engage this defenseman here. All right. We could easily break out. We got all kinds of ice. And I know I say I don't like to put the puck through the middle, and I don't because it's dangerous. But we do have a lot of open ice here. But what we could be doing here is this defenseman, he can make a nice pass to this guy right here. And this guy should be peeling out of the zone like here, like that. And what this defenseman, this forward here can do is he can either hit that guy with a pass going through the middle, but what we got to remember is that this defenseman is going to start to follow him. But more ideally is just to take the puck up, and when this guy starts to engage it off the boards, put it down the boards, and then this guy can skate onto the puck. And we're out of our zone. We got a nice, simple little breakout. I will say, like they are changing their forward, so that option might not be there as this guy comes on the ice. But the other thing we could do is, the centerman could set up right here in front of the net, and our defenseman could be over in the corner here. All right. And what can happen is that this guy can make a pass to that forward. All right, so this puck gets passed to this forward. And this guy's then going to come down and start to engage. But if our centerman's right here, our centerman then can turn and start to break out. And this guy can pass the puck down to him. And then this guy's starting to break out here as well. So then the center can either hit him or they can skate out with the puck. All right, so that's what we call a top-down breakout. And that is an option. But the main thing is, guys, we can't just be standing still. If this guy's standing here on the boards, one of these guys got to be moving. This guy's got to start. We got to start filling these lanes somehow, and start giving these guys options. I mean, really, if this guy started to go through the middle, the defense could probably step out and make a pass, although not ideally because you got a forward right here. But we have a potential here to, if we could potentially go on a 3-on-2 or a 2-on-2 here, if we get a quick breakout. But the main thing here I'm trying to get across is we just can't stand around and wait for the puck to come to us. We have to start moving. And the more we move, the more ice will open up. Another thing is that if this defenseman here, or this forward, starts to move out of the zone, that's going to drag this defenseman with him. Now all of a sudden, the centerman who's curling this way has an open lane, so this guy can make a pass to him, and he's skating out, and then this guy is starting to go through the middle here as well. Right? So by moving, we're going to start to open up space for guys. All right? So keep that in mind when you're out there on the ice. Let's try to see some improvement on that side of things.